What's up, guys? It's News Now, Ohio. I don't know what's going on, but there's been a cop that's been driving by my house like for the past half an hour, guys. He just keeps on cruising by, going up and down the alley, shining lights in it over here at my house, driving up and down the street, shining lights up here. I don't know if they're just trying to harass me. I don't know what's going on, but I guess I'm gonna sit over here. I'm gonna hang out here and see how long it takes them to come back by. Starting to get on my nerves. But while I'm sitting here, I'm gonna address something that a few people keeps commenting. One of them is this Joe Smith on my comments. Keeps calling me a woman beater. Okay, so I'm just gonna address that because I think it's hilarious that I have one thing good about Merp's video is that a bunch of his little cult members come over to my channel and started talking shit, and I was able to block them. So that's the one good thing. But yeah, other good thing is it just goes to show how ignorant trolls are. I mean, I've got this Holly Ware talking shit. Is this him? And this Joe Smith calling me a woman beater because Merb shows my charges my record that I've been of everything I've been charged with. You know, we already talked about this. Didn't mention a word about, what I actually was found guilty for, though. He failed to mention that I wasn't found guilty for any of them domestic violences. There was only one domestic violence that I was found guilty for, and it was a domestic violence that was mixed with a resistant arrest and a disorderly conduct. It was about me and my brother got into a fight, and when the police showed up, when the cops showed up, it was at my dad's jewelry store that he owned. This was a long time ago. I think it was like back in '98 or something like that. It was a long time ago. Me and him was in the middle of a fist fight when they pulled up, and they arrested both of us for domestic violence and disorderly conduct, and they said I resisted arrest. Of course, I'm surprised I didn't get a assault on a cop too. They love to throw that in there on them when they hit you for resisting. But I have to automatically be a woman beater if I have a domestic violence on my record, I guess. Because I guess it's considered something else if it's you fighting with your brother. Oh, look, is this him coming down the wrong way? This is a one-way, guys, right there. Look. Nope, that's just somebody driving the wrong way. I don't know where he went, but he has been cruising up and down here. I mean, it's been about the past half hour, 45 minutes. Every few minutes, he would swing by, and he'll have his lights on in his car. His bar lights and all that shit, so that you can't record it. See what number it is on a recording. It's kind of funny. But anyway, I just think it's funny that all the trolls, they don't even do their own research, man. It's just like they just jump right on Merv's panties, and I guess what he says is gospel. But I know I'd like to know what's going on. Somebody messaged something about somebody destroyed Merv and outed him. I'd like to know what about. I mean, something about his girlfriend or his wife, I guess. She got criminal charges too? If anybody got that info, I'd love to hear that. But anyway, so not only did they jump to that, my domestic violence that I did get convicted of was which could only be the only one they're talking about, since the other 2 or 3 I have was I didn't get found guilty for. So I'm assuming they have to be talking about the one I was found guilty for, even though we all know they didn't do any research themselves. That was against my brother, me and my brother, and I just took a plea bargain because they merged them all together and gave me no jail time. That was a long time ago. That's back when I was the sheeple, I mean, I wasn't really a sheeple. I knew that they were corrupt, and they did, I've known guys since I got out of the military, since I came home from the military in '92, guys. 6 months after, about 8 months after I got home, me and my wife was driving down the street. We didn't have a windshield in our car, but before I did it, we was coming back from the junkyard where I'd picked up one from a junkyard, and I was going to go home and put it in. Nothing illegal about it. It was me, my wife, and my oldest daughter. And she was just a baby. She was probably 5 months old in the car seat. And we all had sunglasses on, which made it perfectly legal. No different, guys, than somebody driving a motorcycle. As long as they have sunglasses on or some kind of protective eye gear, they can ride it. They can use it. Totally legal. I checked on it before I went and did it. I just didn't have any other way to get to the junkyard, and I knew if I drove there with my smashed in windshield, I was going to get pulled over. So I didn't. I just removed the windshield, cleaned the glass, and we all went and put glasses on and went and picked up the windshield. So on the way back, guys, I get pulled over now, guys. No, this was 93. Sorry, not 92. 93. It was right after Rodney King. And we got pulled over coming down, it's called Knightsbridge Drive here. We was coming back from a junkyard here called Jones's Auto Parts. And got pulled over, and I had to pull over. I was pulled over on Knightsbridge, so I turned and parked right on Front Street, which is down here in Front Street together. I mean, it's just basically where it's low-income housing. It's basically the ghetto. You know, a lot of black people live there, unfortunately, you know, but a lot of white people, too. All of us poor white people live there. I lived down there at one time. But anyway, you know, I'm just making that point because of the Rodney King issue. So, when again, you know, of course, we drew a crowd because a cop was on over and a bunch of people come out and was watching it. Cop come over and he walked up to my window. He was like, "You got a license? You better have a license." And he walked back to his car. Well, about halfway back, he was a black guy, black cop. His name was Officer Jackson. On the way to the hospital, because they beat the shit out of me so bad they had to take me to the hospital, he was like, "They call me Action Jackson." Yeah, I just kind of laughed to myself. But anyway, he, I guess, realized, oh, shit, I didn't get his driver's license. So he come back. Got my driver's license, or come back to get my driver's license, and he just tried to open my door. Well, I had an old Monte Carlo, and it had the old pull-up handles, you know, the flip-up handles to open the doors. Well, they were broke. I had to actually, you could either open them from the inside, or you had to stick your finger in the keyhole and pop the latch to open it. So when he pulled it, he jerked it so hard he fell. Dude, he got pissed. He jumped up off the ground and he put his hand on his gun and was like, "Get out of the fucking car now." Well, I popped the door open and, you know, I open the door from inside and I get out. He turns me, he flips me around and he puts me up against the car and he starts patting me down and I had nothing on me. Well, I'm just sitting there still with my hands on the hood of the car. And, he goes, he puts his handcuffs around his fist and punches me in the back of the head. My knees buckle. He brings his knee up to and knees me in the ribs, and he broke 2 of my ribs. But anyways, he choke slams me on the ground, starts beating the shit out of me in the middle of the road. All these black people are fucking screaming, "Hell yeah, Jackson, give that white motherfucker what he deserves. Show him what Rodney King went through." All kinds of shit, you know. Guys, I'm fresh home from the military. I still had my fucking jump boots on from the military. You know what I'm saying? Still had my military haircut. Well, you know, I mean, I cut my hair since I got out, but, you know, I was still in that mindset where I kept my haircut like that. So he puts his knee, after pounding me in my face about 5 or 6 times, he put his knee in my throat, grabs his radio on his chest, and is like, "I've just been assaulted, I'm on Front Street." A few minutes later, you know, he rolls me over, cuffs me, and then rolls me back over on my back. I'm laying in the middle of the street on the double yellow line, and he chases my girl, who is now my wife. She's 5 months pregnant. He choke slams her and slams her on the hood of the car, right? And she ended up having a miscarriage, but all these cops pull up, about 20 of cruisers, like, pulling up. They all jump out, start beating me with billy clubs. And then I guess they realized, oh shit, he's handcuffed. Well, they ended up throwing me in his car and taking me to the hospital. But that's when I realized, guys, that was my first encounter with the Hamilton police, you guys. That was my very first encounter when I got home from the military with the Hamilton police. I think I had one driving without a driver's license. You know, back when I was in the military, you could drive with your military ID. So I didn't bother with it. But so when I first got out, I just didn't get a license. So I think I had one no driver's license. But other than that, I didn't have a record. You know, they didn't know me. I didn't know them. But that's when the police got to know me real well. So he charged me as assault, all kinds of shit. In court, he was like, the judge had the nerve to ask him, was like, ask this cop who just beat the shit out of me and saying I assaulted him, had the nerve to ask him at my court hearing if he had any medical damages that I needed to have restitution paid to him back. This was my first contempt of court. I was like, I kind of chuckled and I was like, for what? Repairing his knuckles from beating my face in, right? And the judge was like, what'd you say? I was like, I said, damages to what? His hands from beating my face in for no reason? And the judge was like, contempt of court, 30 days. And I did 30 days for that. But, you know, so that was my first experience with Hamilton Police and the corruption here. So, but anyway, I just figured I'd give you a little inside story on how I've become well known with the Hamilton Police. But, yeah, it was just crazy. But anyways, I haven't seen him hide nor hair of him come back by, guys, so I don't know what. It was just kind of weird. He just kept cruising by. I guess he kind of got the point. So my wife kept running out with a phone and trying to record him every time he went by. He just kept popping his bar lights on so that you couldn't see him. His car number. We still don't know what his car number is. But anyways, he was in an SUV. But anyways, guys, look, I'm just going to get off here. I just wanted to stress how I love these trolls, man. And you know, they like to get on here and talk about how I delete comments. I don't delete comments. I just block people. I guess when I block them, when I block their or block them or something, I guess it takes their comment away or something. I'm not sure if it does or not, but the only comments I delete are ones that people are being nasty and vulgar or talking about my family or talking about my subscribers and their family. I'll delete those comments because I have nothing. I'm not going to leave it on my platform. They can go say all that shit on Merv's channel. I'm sure he'll keep it on there. But all right, guys, you know, I'm going to get off here. If anything interesting happens tonight, I'll let you all know. It's Saturday night after all. Oh, look at here, guys. Over here in the abandoned house. Look. Check this out, guys. Over here in the abandoned house where, see the flames? See the flickering light? Somebody, the hobos, the bums, that ain't even supposed to be there in that abandoned part of the side of the house. Over there with a bonfire in the backyard to keep warm. Yeah, guys. Tell me that's not crazy. They're there all the time with a bonfire to keep warm. I mean, I guess you do what you got to do. But they're over there with a bonfire shooting heroin and shit. So then I guess they overdose and they have to call the ambulance. It's like a damn near everyday thing, man. But all right, guys. You all be cool. This is News Now, Ohio. Signing out.